CVS Part 1, Case 18.
A 61-year-old male presents with 10 months history of progressive exertional dyspnea, fatigue, abdominal distension. He reports 2 recent episodes of exertional lightheadedness. His medical history is significant for bilateral carpal tunnel release 5 years ago, chronic lumbar spinal stenosis, and distal sensory polyneuropathy. Physical examination includes elevated GVP with positive hepatojugular reflex, soft S3 gallop with trace biatrial edema and mild hepatomegaly. ECG shows low voltage QRS, PR interval is 220. Echocardiogram includes the concentric LV wall thickness is 1.6 centimeters and biatrial enlargement with LVEF is 50%. Cardiac MRI includes global subendocardial LGE, inability to null myocardium. Hematological screen includes negative SPEP and UPEP proteins. Nuclear imaging shows technetium 99 PYP scan grade 3 myocardial uptake. Which is the most likely diagnosis? Option A, cardiac sarcoidosis. Option B, hereditary hemochromatosis. Option C, AL light chain cardiac amyloidosis. Option D, ATTR transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis. Option E, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Case of restrictive cardiomyopathy due to ATTR transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis. We'll see the diagnosis in stepwise. The step 1 is the features which are suggesting RCM from the case includes HFpEF, edema, elevated JVP, hepatomegaly, and biatrial enlargement. The main causes for RCM includes amyloidosis, sarcoidosis, Fabry disease, and hemochromatosis. The step 2 is the pathognomonic clue from the case is voltage mass mismatch. The mass is high, which is 1.6 centimeters of LV wall thickness from the echo finding. The voltage is low from ECG. Why this is happening? Because the amyloid protein is getting deposited into the myocardium, making this electrically inert. The step 3 is the orthopedic red flag cluster, which includes bilateral carpal tunnel syndrome, lumbar spinal stenosis, and the peripheral neuropathy. These are the classic extracardiac manifestations of ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. The step 4 is the findings of cardiac MRI. The global subendocardial LGE and the diffuse gadolinium uptake are suggesting of cardiac amyloidosis. The step 5 is rule out AL cardiac amyloidosis, which is a very crucial step here. For this, we need to measure monoclonal proteins, which include serum free light chain proteins, SPEP and UPEP. If these proteins are coming negative, then AL is excluded. The step 6 is the diagnostic test for ATTR cardiac amyloidosis includes the nuclear scan, which is technetium 99 PYP scan. If the uptake is either 2 or more than 2, then which concludes the ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. If the uptake is less than 2, then it will suggest this diagnosis may be the RCM may be because of other causes apart from amyloidosis.
To summarize this case, it's the case of an old male with HFpEF with thick wall of the left ventricle with a low voltage ECG and having orthopedic red flag cluster, negative monoclonal protein screen, and a positive technetium 99 PYP scan. So this all indicates the diagnosis of ATTR transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis. Now, for this kind of detailed case-based learning, apart from listening to the video lectures, the students can refer to the ebooks for comprehensive diagnostic reasoning and therapeutic algorithms.